Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the entrepreneurs or the business owner's dilemma and why you really need to have a board of advisors to avoid it. I'm Michael Redden, and if you have any questions, put a comment down in the comments, or if you want to plan with me and kind of learn how you can avoid this, you can go to reddenlawoffice.com and schedule a planning session. Essentially, the entrepreneur's dilemma or the business owner's dilemma is that they started their business because they wanted prosperity and they wanted to provide for their family. And what they find is that freedom that we're going to have to enjoy life, it's not there. They're trapped in the business. The business can't operate. It can't function without them. And that's kind of the classic dilemma. Now, it's important for exit planning, but it's also important just for running a business, period. You may have heard a lot of people will say, you can't sell your business. It's not saleable if you can't step away from it. I would go one step further and say that if you can't step away from your business, if you say, well, I am my business or it can't function without me, you don't have a business. You have a job. And we can't sell jobs. We can't replace jobs. All we can do is work a job. And it wants that work. Now, if you want to get away from that, then your business needs to be able to kind of function without you. And that does not mean that you find someone who can just do the work that you do. Businesses don't function just on that work. There needs to be some strategic vision. So you have to organize your business so that not only could it function without you and we could bring someone in transition there, but that it can plan for the future, it can grow, it can do those things that are important to it. A lot of times this has to go down to, especially for those family businesses, some kind of family governance structure. We're going to have the family who's involved in the business. They're going to be planning for it, taking on some of those roles, helping you with those things. It also does us no good if we bring the family into it and the family just has jobs. If we just have this organization that provides jobs to you and your family, we're never going to escape this dilemma. So we need to have the family able to do those roles and help the business look to the future and transition people in. That could mean even if you're not in there, even if no one in the business is a member of the family, it can still run and there's a role and the family plans and prepares for its future. Most of the time, this is going to come from family meetings, determining how you and the family are going to deal with each other, and having a family advisory board. This board is going to help advise you guys on what to do, different steps to take, and go forward with it. It really shouldn't be comprised of people who are involved in the day-to-day operation of that business. They've got blinders on. They've got different territorial things that they've got going on, and they really should be focusing on their jobs and things inside the business rather than that strategic vision, moving the family, moving you forward. Typically, who are we going to have on this? At a minimum, we're going to have an attorney who's good at strategic planning, exit planning, family stuff that's really going to represent you and your family and kind of help you with that. We're going to have a financial advisor who's going to help you visualize what your goals are, see how you can go from here to there with that, and give you advice on the financial impacts of the decisions you're going to make and the strategies you're going to take to go through with it. We're also going to need an accountant. And it doesn't always have to be an accountant that's different than what's inside your company. It could be your accountant who does the taxes and compliance. But we don't want it to be that internal accountant that we've hired that does the bookkeeping and the cost accounting kind of things. These people need to be independent a little bit. They need to be able to reforecast your financial statements. They need to be able to do those projections and make recommendations on how we can improve cash flow, improve valuation positions, and how those metrics are done. And they need to have be a person who doesn't have a part in making that information that's going to be a part of the metrics. The attorney, that again should not be probably the same person who is advising you on employment law issues, who is general counsel of your firm. Sometimes it could be the general counsel if they're not hired on there full time, if they're just kind of the part-time person. But if they work full time in that business, they suffer from those same blinders kinds of issues. They also need to be someone who looks for solutions and doesn't just look for problems. They need to not be a point that just says, no, you really shouldn't do that. They should be a person who says, that presents unique problems. Here are the kind of options that we have. Some of them are better than others, and they need to have experience implementing those. You also need to have the banker that you're involved with, because at different steps in a business's life for your strategic vision, even for exiting and getting out of that business, you're going to potentially need to have recapitalization. And that banker is going to know your business probably better than you. They trust you. They believe in you. They know what's going to go with it. And they can open up those kinds of avenues. They will have seen businesses that have been down here before. They know what that's going to be like. They know what capital is going to be needed. And they can help you with the process of easing people in and out. Additionally, the banker is going to be responsible for your options of getting out. It's an investment banker if we're going to go sell it to the public or sell it out there. Otherwise, that same banker you've been having for your bank is going to be the one who's going to be able to help you the most. They should really be involved in each of those processes. So at a minimum, you should have your attorney, your financial advisor, your accountant, and your banker. Sometimes we need other specialized kinds of help because maybe we can't really talk to each other, function as a team, something's broken down. Maybe there's management issues at the company and role issues. You need those special consultants. Those folks can be brought in and out as needed, but that core four right there is the ones that we really need to focus on, and everyone should have involved in there. And by implementing these processes and having these advisors help you with family governance and steering that business, you can finally escape the owner's dilemma, the entrepreneur's dilemma, and have a prosperous future for you and your family and your business. So if you find yourself in that situation, or definitely if you think you're going to sell it in 7 to 10 years, but your main problem is, hey, I can't leave the business. It can't function without me. If you at least get that advisory group and start working on the problem, you'll have a much better result than you think.